Greeting to all the students. Welcome to Global Online. And here we are back with our NTA UGC Net Paper 2 preparation for 2022 batch. So basically, this is a management subject in which we are doing the unit that is 6 strategic management. And under that, we are doing a topic called as strategic intent. We have completed the first introduction as strategic management. The description in the description box, the link is given. You can check. Before going ahead, we'll quickly have a look at what exactly Global Online has to offer you for paper 2. So for paper 2, we have a Global Online app. You can download the app with the help of Google Play Store. You can register yourself with the mobile number. Once you do that, it will be taking you to the page where we have a management course, where we have complete video lectures, notes, test series, previous year question papers in the PDF format, and the target based preparation. If you take exclusively paper 2, then you will be getting paper 1 free. You can get in touch with us with the help of the given WhatsApp number. At the same time, we also have preparation for a separate preparation for UGC Net Paper 1 also, wherein we have daily live lectures, notes on all the topics. Last 10-year question papers are also, discussed with the answer key. Test series with more than 2,500 MCQs are taken. So this is all also done in order to prepare yourself for your paper 1. So now let's start with the topic. If you remember last lecture, we started with the topic that is strategic intent, which consists of your vision, mission, goals, and objectives. So let's see it in detail. So the organization strategic intent is a purpose that it exists. So intent is nothing but a purpose for the existence of the organization, and it will continue to exist providing it maintains a competitive advantage. So in case, if you want to exist it, if you want to remain sustained, it has to make a competitive advantage. It gives a picture what an organization must be into immediately, in order to achieve the company's vision. So how the organization should be, that is, understood from the strategic intent. It also motivates the people of the organization and clarify the vision of the company. It also helps the management to concentrate on the priorities, which, on the basis of their sequence or links. Strategic intent is nothing but the influence of organization's resource potential and core competencies to achieve what at first may seem to be unachievable goals. So it is something, where it feels that it is something which is beyond the capacity, but yes, slowly, gradually, by making various strategies, by understanding the competitive advantage, it can be possible. So what does strategic intent include? So it includes the direction of the organization, which needs, attention on the need of winning. It means achieving, inspiring the people, that is the human resources, by telling them that the targets are valuable, encouraging the individual as well as the team participation for the contribution, utilizing the intent, that is, to allocate this for the direct allocation of resources. So strategic intent differs from the strategic fit in a way that while strategic fit deals with harmonizing available resources and the external environment, strategic intent emphasizes on building of new resources. So it is very, very important that new resources should be built up with the potential so that they create or they explore or exploit the future opportunities. So this will be beneficial. Indirectly, it will be beneficial to the organization. So let's understand what is the purpose of strategic intent. We know that, okay, strategic intent has a reason, okay? So let's understand what is that reason. So it focuses on organization's attention on the essence of winning. Winning, it means in order to achieve the objectives. So whatever may come, but objectives has to be achieved, and that's what the strategic intent is, aiming at. It motivates the employees by communicating and the values of the target, which they are supposed to be, achieving. It leaves room for individual and team contribution so that they get the recommendations, they get the, you can say, suggestions, and accordingly they can work on. And it helps in optimum utilization of resources, that is no wastages. So the first thing is to set the intent, that is, what exactly is required, the attributes or the features. The second thing is to set the challenges in the form of the urgency or the milestones. And third is to empower the intent. It means it all involves all the employees. So now, As we know that strategic intent contains what? So let us understand individually how this intent can overall help the organization to achieve the goal. So first is the mission statement. So the role of a statement of the role by which organization intends to serve its stakeholders. So it describes why an organization is operating, and it provides a framework within which the strategies are formulated, within which the strategies are framed. It describes the organization present capability, that what the organization does, to whom it all serves, that is the stakeholders, what the organization makes, that is the reason for existence. A mission statement differentiates an organization by others by explaining the activities or perspective with the help of products, with the help of technologies, and it sets the goals and objectives to be achieved. So like one such example is Walmart mission we will take. So it to give ordinary folk the chance to buy the same thing as the rich people. Mission statement always exists at the top level, and may be also made for various organization levels. The chief executive plays a significant role in formulation of mission statement. Once the mission statement is formulated, it serves the organization in the long run. Maybe it can become ambiguous with the growth and innovation. But yes, mission statement to a very great extent plays an important role in strategic intent. Then we have features. So how the mission statement is: it is feasible, it is possible to achieve, it is clear, it should be inspiring, it should be precise enough. So when we say feasible, it means it is possible to achieve. When we say clear, so that any action can be taken, it is that much clarity is given. Inspiring, which will not only inspire the management but the staff as well as the society. If I say precise, it will neither be too broad or not too narrow. It should be basically the way it should be. Unique, so it will leave a distinctive impact in everyone's mind. It should be analytical, so it means it should use the key components of the strategy. And when we say creditable, so all the shareholders should believe it. So Microsoft mission is to help people and businesses throughout the world to realize their full potential. So this is what the mission statement talks about. Now, the components of mission statements given by Abel, one of the management scholar. So he says that the customer group is the one who is being satisfied. What has been satisfied is the customer needs, and how needs are satisfied with the help of distinctive or competitiveness advantage. So this is what is given by Abel also. Element of mission statement. So what are the important elements of mission statement? So one is the purpose, that is the existence of the business. One is the values, that is what the management believes in. One is the standards and behavior, that the rules that guide the business operation. Another is the strategy and core scope, what is the business and how the business is. So basically these are the elements. So here, and you may get these questions: what are the elements, what are the benefits, what are the characteristics, maybe in the form of case study. That's how also nowadays it comes, or maybe in the form of code question. Second one we have is the vision statement. So what is the vision statement? Is the one which identify the organization's wants in the future. So it should be definitely best, it should be to be meet with the needs of the shareholders. So it describes dreams and aspirations for the future of the organization. The vision is the potential view to view things ahead of themselves. So it is basically a foresight, you can say. It answers the question where we want to be. So it is it is talking about the future planning. It gives a reminder about what is attempted, what we attempt to develop. So for example, Microsoft vision is to empower the people through great software anytime, any place, or any device. And Walmart's vision is to become worldwide leader in retailing. So it is talking about the future path of every organization, and that's what it is meant for. Okay, now we have next is vision statement is effective with what features? So what are the features of vision statement? So it must be ambiguous. It means it should be not have any ambiguity and clarity. So it should be clear with the meaning. Then it must be harmonized with the values and cultures. It should be realistic, or you can say rational, okay, which have a real touch in it. It should be definitely, the vision statement should be shorter, and should be easier to memorize. So it is something which is, which is easy to remember or to memorize with a shorter amount of, statement. Now, how to create this vision statement? So yes, it can be created with the help of intuition, or relies on intuition and dreaming, through which it can be created. Brainstorming within the staff members, that is, everyone should be allowed to think over it, and based on that, the ideas, something should be finalized. There are three important questions, like how do you want your community to be different? What role do you and your organization play in your community? What success looks like. So yes, are the basic questions which a vision statement should be able to answer. Now, components, see, we have studied elements and components of mission also. So same way, the components of vision is the core ideology, that is the long lasting character, of a firm as it passes, depending upon the technology as well as, competition, the values, the beliefs, the principles, and the practices. Then how to connect these values to the strategic vision. And envision feature, it means the long-term goals, the description of what it will be to like and achieve a particular goal. So that particular goal. So the characteristics of effective vision will be graphic. It can be directional, it can be focused, it can be flexible, it can be feasible, it has to be desirable, and one which is easily communicated. There are but some shortcomings of vision statement. If it can be incomplete, vision statements cannot make any sense. If they are unclear or there is some ambiguity, again it will it will not give a perfect meaning. It lacks motivational power. It is it is not distinctive. It means not similar with the other companies. It should not. But these are the shortcomings which have been observed. It is too generic. It does not talks about result in the work. It means it does not talks about action which is intended, and it is sometimes considered as irrelevant also. So yes, this can be certain shortcomings of the vision statement. Now, next comes is the part of strategic intent is goals and objectives. So yes, goals is nothing but a future state of an organization. So if it specify that the organization should, attend the mission or vision. So goals make the vision more prominent and concrete. They coordinate and integrate various functional and departmental areas of the organization. And the features of the goals, it can be precise and measurable. They look critical and significant. They are realistic. They should be achieved with a specific time, and they include both financial as well as the non-financial components, which are important in order to achieve the goal, and you can say the goal and objective of an organization. So yes, so you can differentiate goal versus objectives. So goals are the final outcome, whereas the objectives are something specific which helps to achieve the final goal. So first comes the objectives and then the final goal. It is what you want to achieve, and objectives, it's how are you going to achieve it. So they are broader than the objectives. They are more specific. Goals are more specific. Goals are maybe not measurable, but objectives are measurable. Goals have a longer time frame, whereas objectives has a shorter time frame. So you should be knowing, because again a statement question can create a problem. So that's the reason you should be knowing this very clearly. Okay. Now, what are the approaches to determine the objectives? So you can take a top-down approach where the objectives are determined by the top-level people, that is management, and then they are communicated to subordinates. And bottom-up approach, it means the subordinates determine their job and the same would be presented to the top level. So that is one which is decided, determined, and passed on. Another one which is which is suggested and passed on. So it is top-down and bottom-up approach. So can there be a failure for can there be certain reasons for the failure of strategic management? Yes, there can be. Failure to define the objective correctly, failure to understand the customers, failure to predict the environment, the competitors, overestimation of the resources which was not required, to coordinate and to communicate with the management, failure to obtain the employee commitment where they're not dedicated, loyal, or they are not able to perform as per the deadlines, failure to accept the change. If the change is not accepted, it becomes difficult. Poor communication and unrealistic expectations yes, these are the few of the reasons through which strategic management, there can be a failure for strategic management. So yes, this really makes a lot of efforts go waste. So it has to be considered in such a manner that it does not result into any loss to the business. So when we talk about levels, so we have studied this very well, that is corporate level, business level, function level. So all the functions like procurement, research, development, you have your R&D, okay? You have business level, where this business unit is considered, corporate level where the corporate strategy is considered, okay? Now, so when we talk about corporate level strategy, so corporate level strategy is basically the outlines of overall strategy. It defines the markets, it plans the market to be entered. Then we have business level strategy, which uses the corporate strategy, which defines the tactics, which relates how the business unit can be planned with the different tactics. And functional level strategy, it is day-to-day needs. It is a relation between the business units or the functional goals which can be met. So these are all taken under functional level strategy. So this is what we have learned in this particular lecture. In the coming lecture, we'll be taking a new topic for the strategic management. Thank you.